everybody, it's Rexanna with Garden of Herbs, and we're going to talk for a minute. We're going to be learning about a new herb, and this is the herb. I have it in the dried version today, and it's a kind of a strong herb. It smells very strong, but it is a great herb. I'm very excited about today because this is a herb that I am going to try to be growing. I believe I can grow it. I won't be able to grow it right now because it's in the middle of the winter, but this is called Chaparral. Chaparral is an herb that has been around for a very, very long time, and I'm going to be using a book that I got while I was in school, and I was very excited because I actually learned about this right before I went to school, and as I was going to school I learned it was in one of my textbooks, so I got very excited about it, and I haven't used this yet. I just recently got this herb. I ordered it through Southwest Botanicals. I've heard so much about it. I've heard so many other herbalists talk about it, and I'm just now going to get to experience this herb for myself. So I've almost every herb book that you pick up, very few herb books that I've picked up has not talked about Chaparral, because it's just a powerful book. I mean, a powerful herb in almost every book. If I pick up an herb book and it doesn't have it in there, I'm really shocked and very surprised, because it's just everywhere, and there's case studies done on it. There's history. It has a long history on it. So this is what I'm reading. This was one of the books that I had in school, and this is my textbook that Thomas Easley and Steve Horn. This is one of the books that I studied. This is what I talk about my textbooks. This is a textbook that I was issued when I went to school, and so this is what I'm going to be reading out of. Chaparral. It's got dosages and, you know, how to do it in the tincture, cold infusion, glycerite, so forth and so on. But I'm just going to be reading a little bit out of this book. And then I have another book that is a very good book. It's School of Natural Healing. And these two books right here talk a great deal about this herb. And so it's a bitter herb, and the bitter herb, has a long history of healing cancer, or being used on cancer, excuse me. It purifies the blood, and it contains an antioxidant substance known as NDGA. Chaparral cleans and tones the liver, blood, and lymphatic system, making it useful for parasites and bacteria infection, viruses, heavy metal toxicity, drug withdrawal, and radiation. So, and it says, you know, to be careful, like if you're pregnant or if you're nursing a child and so forth and so on, that you want to probably not have anything to do with it during this time. It is a pretty potent, like I said, herb. So in those circumstances, you may want to use your doctor advice. And nevertheless, it does have a strong action on the kidneys and should be taken with a lot of water to protect the kidneys. It has an energetic action of cooling and drying. The properties, again, do purify the blood, and it is a antibacterial, and it's an anti-carcinogen, cancer, antitoxinant, anti-parasitic, antiseptic, and it's a bitter. So there are many places that you can get it, and the dosage here, if you're interested in, you can contact me. It's great to tincture it when it's a dry herb. It's you can take it up to 3 times a day. You can make it in an oil, a salve. Of course, you can tincture it with alcohol. And the great thing about this is it does have a long history. And the thing about it being an antibacterial is it is very wildly known. Everybody that I've talked to, I mean, there are a lot of like antibiotics that you hear out there in the herb world, and they always say, you know, well, I love, and I'm one of them, I love to take, I've had urinary tract infections before, and I will take echinacea in a heartbeat. But I have heard so many people say, but you really want to take Chaparral. Because within a few uses of taking Chaparral, your urinary tract infection is gone. And they also say that to tincture it, because the tincture form of Chaparral will help you to be rid of your urinary tract infection. Or you can take capsules. But they say the best way is to tincture Chaparral. And of course, I do tincture my echinacea as well, but drink it with a lot of water. Any woman that has had a urinary tract infection knows how hard it is when you are in a lot of pain and you cannot use the bathroom, or if you're using the bathroom frequently. So I think that is one of my feeling like, you know, I want to do a tincture of Chaparral, but you also don't want to miss out on the benefits of drinking Chaparral tea as well. So without further ado, we'll go over and talk about that it's also good for arthritis, that many Native Americans said that it was great for the tissues, that it cleansed the lower bowel and toned the lower bowel, and that it worked much faster in the difficult conditions. So they talked about how quickly it went in, and you know, the lower bowel and the lower the area that I just talked about in your lower abdomen area, that it was one of the quickest that they found, and that it flowered in from July to September. So it's great to have in your garden, that it's very strong smelling. And so besides arthritis, it also helps with stomach disorders, bladder, kidney, hemorrhoids, chicken pox, snake bites, lots of aches and pains, bruises, cuts, inflammation, you know, all types of venereal diseases, sores, tendinitis, that you can make it into a poultice and put it on the aches and pains of your body. And so these are just some of the things they said as far as stony deposits. So I would think stony deposits might even be like kidney stones. And so yeah, anything that is within this type of that, you know, you can make the Chaparral tea with elderflowers and peppermint. So there's 2 tablespoons of Chaparral tea, 4 teaspoons of elderflower, and 2 teaspoons of peppermint tea. And they said using this all together will help with making a great tea. So I might try that. This is a great book because it also talks about making an ointment. And the chaparral, you can use the chaparral, 1 ounce of chaparral, a half a cup of beeswax, or a half an ounce of beeswax, and a half a cup of olive oil, and that's your ointment. So this book is a great book, and so there's all different types of ways that you can use chaparral, and it said, you know, you can even make a tea and put it like in a little bucket of water, and if you have hemorrhoids, then sit down in that little bucket of water and it will shrink your hemorrhoids. So that's good to know, you know. So anyway, I thought I would share this little bit of information. I read over it, really kind of excited to get this chaparral tea. It's another herb. It's another way that we can experience healing, or I'm sorry, I keep saying the word healing. We can support our body and experience relief in our body, because, you know, these are the days that when we're in the winter months and we're wanting to, looks like Hunter's doing something up there in the window, when we're in the winter months, and you know, we can, if we don't have access to one herb, we can go to another herb. And when we're out foraging and we find this herb, you can easily, it says that it's easily found all across northern parts of the United States. It's a biennial, so that's pretty cool. Wherever there are nettles, which a lot of us know what nettles are, there will also be found, and this will grow, chaparral will grow close by it. So it's a bush, and it's also called black bush, or it will also be called greasewood, black bush, grease bush. I've never heard of that. I've just heard of the chaparral, but maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you can leave me a comment and let me know if you've ever heard of that. It's also called alternative, and alternative just simply means an alternative. I'm glad I went and looked at that, because this just means like an alternative just means that it clears out the toxins in your body, sometimes due to air, sometimes due to the pollution that we live in, whether it's the air or the food or some sort of pollution, that environmental that we're surrounded by. We have herbs, natural herbs that God gives us to help clean out the toxins in our body. And sometimes our body gets overloaded by different things, like I said, the air, different foods, that maybe we don't eat the right kinds of food, or maybe the air is polluted around us, or the environment that we are working in. I know my husband works in a very toxic place, and there are different things like the gasoline cars, and our whole world that we live in, it becomes very toxic and overloaded. So sometimes it's good. That's why we need to use the most organic, fresh, clean herbs, drink the cleanest, freshest water that we can. And then when we flush out our bodies with these teas, non-chlorine water, and so forth and so on, this will begin to clean out our system and flush our system. Sometimes we get bacteria built up in our body. We don't get to use the bathroom at the most appropriate time, so we get a urinary tract infection. These different things, we may try to live the best lifestyle that we can, but life happens, things get in the way, and so we need a little help from nature to balance and harmonize our body. And this is just something that helps us. And when I'm talking about the different types of herbs, this is what I'm trying to talk about. This is called an alternative herb, and this is what goes in to clean out our system and balance it and harmonize it, and is to clean out the toxins and the waste. Like I said, it's also to help balance it, to get rid of certain things that might build up to try to cause us to get cancer, which I think most people who may have a history of cancer, some people don't, but some people that may want to just drink it occasionally because they want to rid themselves and balance themselves of cancer buildup or cancer causing cells. That's another good reason to drink Chaparral tea. But for now, that's all. I always try to tell everybody to please do their own research, and you know, I'm Rexanna, I'm the herbalist, but I am not a doctor. I like to have everybody go on down there. I'll leave what information I can, but please do your own research. Be responsible for your own body. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we all try to do the best that we can, and I try to do the best that I can for my family, and that's why I went to school, to do what I can. You can buy books on herbalism, and you can pray, and you know, just try to do the best that you can, and I know that God will lead you and direct your path. That's what He's done for me. But that's all for today, and I'll leave you with this little bit of information, and just have a blessed day. But if you would like this video and subscribe to this channel, we'll do some more on herbs, and then I'll just see you in the next video. Okay, y'all have a blessed day. Bye for now.